Hello guys, in this lecture we are just in the past lecture we are just going through this home main bar and this page which is the main bar. So we have done up to the odes. I couldn't continue in that lecture due to some technical issues. So now in this lecture we will continue with the next thing called we just gonna have the next thing the same div tag. I'm just going to use the same div tag, but this time this is gonna be uh, gonna have the same class name, but in here without olds I'm just going to say number of answers. So like so, and as well we're gonna have answer in this second p tag as well, answers, and then we are just going to have another div with a class name of display dash question dash details. So let me just remove these things, and inside here we're just going to give a class name which is going to be equals to this thing. So let me just have a quotes inside here, and in here first we just going to have a link tag. So if we look here, this question title is going to be a link tag, because if we just click this title, we have to be routed to this question page with the title as well as body contents as well. So since we have to route to this and this page, so we have to make this title as a link tag. So that's why we are using a link tag here. So the two the two is gonna be slash questions slash we have to use backticks because we are just going to we are just going to format a string in here, variable in here with the dollar uh, and a set bracket. So since it shows error, this is because we have to use set brackets before using this formatting, because in this formatting using backtick, this can be done only in JavaScript. So to use JavaScript inside React.js, we have to use the set brackets. So and in here we're just going to format question.id. So this is gonna be it. Then so it shows error. This is because we have to import link from there, and we're just going to have react dash router dom, and then in here inside the link I'm just going to say the question title dot title. So here I have missed the set brackets. We have to do that if you are using JavaScript inside JSX. So here, and I can also give a class name to style this. The class name is gonna be question title, question dash title dash link. So that's it, we have done here. So now let me just go to this page. So this is nothing is here. So now you can see we have 3 votes as well as the answers, and then we don't have the title. This is because we will just go to the home main bar, the home main bar.jsx. In here we have named it as a question title, not question.title. So we have to go on here the question, we will just name it as a question title, and then it should be reflected here. So you can see here is the route, but now it won't route to that page. We will do that when we complete the backend of this questions. So the next thing is gonna be, we're just going to, so since we have done this, and then we have to display the tags as well as the user who posted the question. So the next thing is gonna be a div tag. Inside the div tag, I'm just going to give a class name called display dash title, sorry, tags dash time. So in here I'm just going to give a div with a class name of display tags. So this is going to be display tags, and inside that I'm just going to loop through the question dot tags. So question dot tags dot map. So question is an object but tags is an array, so we are just going to loop through that array. So for the map function we can provide a parameter as an arrow function, and the arrow function takes the parameter as tag as a single element. We can name that. So we don't want to use this set brackets because we are not returning JavaScript. Since we are returning JSX, we have to give an a parenthesis, and in here we will just use a p tag. We're just going to return a p tag, and we can just give the key because I have already said we have to give key for a map function, as well as we have to give the child for that p tag. So we have done with that map function. So let me just refresh. Undefined reading of map. So what we can do, we can just go to the the main bar. Here we have provided the question tags. We have to just rename that also. So we will go over here, just give like that. So now it's okay. Now it displays all the tags. You can see Java, Node.js, React.js, MongoDB, and Express.js. Those are the tags here. And in the next to this div, I'm just going to have a p tag with a class name of display dash time, and that's it. Display dash time, sorry, here's a typo. So now it is correct. Now here I'm just going to have asked, and the time is going to be formatted here, which is going to be question dot asked on, like so. And then we're gonna just say we can have another set bracket inside that. I'm just going to say question dot user posted user posted. So you may see asked Jan 1 by so that's how we have just done with that. So now we will just enter into the CSS part. So let me just open the main bar CSS. So in here, and first we will select the entire main bar, which is the entire container. With that, we're just going to give a width of calc of 100% minus 300px minus 24px. So this width is nothing but, so if you just consider this entire width is almost 100%, what I'm doing here, I'm just taking the entire 100%, and this is almost 300px, and this width is almost 24px. So this entire container is 300px, and this entire thing is 24px. So what I have done, so I'm just neglecting these two lengths, so I have provided a single length. So from 100, so from 100% we have removed this much of space, and this is gonna be the side width of the entire main bar. So in here we will just give a float of left. The widget has a float of right. Now the questions has a float of left, so it occupies the left side and this occupies the right side now. So now everything comes side by side. So the next thing we are gonna do is we have just to provide a margin of 24 px on top and bottom, so 25 px on top and bottom, as well as 0 px on left and right. So I'm just going to make the padding as 0. So now you may see here's an extra space. This is because of the margin as well. And in here I'm just going to have a main dash bar dash header, and the display is going to be flex for this thing. So this header is nothing but the class name of this header is nothing but the class name of the stop question as well as this ask question. So that's how we have put both of the things side by side. So the next thing, we are just going to have a justify content of space between, and align items is going to be centered so that it comes one to this end and the other will come to this end. So let me just refresh and see. So now you can see one is at this end and the other thing is in this end at the other end. So we're gonna just select the h1 tag of this main bar header. H1 tag contains the top questions. So in the H1 tag we will just give a font weight of 400 because I'm just reducing the font weight to a small font, you can see. So now the font weight has been decreased. So the next thing is gonna be the ask button, the ask question button. So to select that, we can select the main bar header first, and then the ask dash btn, and then I'm just going to give a padding of 10 px and 15 px, and just give a border radius of 4 px. Okay, so now let me just refresh. So here I have missed a dot, you see that. So you can see now we have provided the padding and the border radius. Since we didn't give any background color, it is not visible. So now we will just give a background color as hash 009 as well as DFF, and then we are just going to give a color of white. The text color is going to be white, and we will just give a border of none, and then I'm just going to say the text decoration as none because we got the underline since it is a link tag, and we're just going to have a transition of 0.3 seconds. So now let me just refresh. We had a nice button here, so we'll just give an hover class for this. On hovering, I will just make that blue to a darker blue. So in here we're just going to have a hover pseudo class. We have discussed about this hover pseudo class earlier a lot of times. So now we will just give a background color of hash 008 6D8. So let me just refresh now. So on hovering this, it becomes a darker blue, and the transition time is also 0.3 seconds. So now this looks cool. So now we will get into these things. First we will style this entire container. We will just make everything inside a single container. So first we have to select the display dash question dash container. So first we will just select the entire container and we will give a min height of 8 for that. And so let me just see what is this display question containers first. So this display flare and question container is, I haven't declared that, so I think I have to give it here. So let me just see once. So I found, so the display question container is here. I just wrongly named it as a display answer container. Since we are displaying the question only, so we have to name like that. So the display question is nothing but this only one block of question. So this is another block of display question container. This is another block. This is another block. So first we will just select this one block. So it's not like we are selecting the one block. By styling this, we will automatically style everything because these things are inside a map function. So we will go to the home CSS, and in here I'm just going to give a min height of 80px for this one block. This is going to be 80px. If it extends, it may extend, so that's why we are using min height. And then we're just going to give the width of 100% as well, and we will give a display flex, display of flex. So let me just go to this page. I have given a display of flex. It should do something in here. So you can see now everything is side by side. This is nothing but the top 3 questions, and it shows 3 votes, 2 answers, as well as the question, the tags used, as well as the user asked it. So now everything is in line by line, sorry, side by side. So the next thing we are going to use is align items, which is going to be center. We will align everything center, and I'm just going to give a background color for this as hash FDF7E2. So it will be just applied here, don't worry. And then we will just give a border bottom as a blue color line for this, which is going to be a minute detail attached to our box. So now let me just refresh. We have to give you may see a single blue color line. It is here, which is a minute detail, which is an attention to detail. And then we will select the display words container inside the display questions container, display dash words dash ans, and this is gonna have a padding of 20px on all the sides, and then that's it. Yeah. So this is the 2 container which I have selected, these 2 things, which is gonna have a padding of 20px, and the p tag inside this container will be selected now. And now we will just give a margin of 0% for the p tag. So you may have a margin here. We are just going to neglect that, and we will give a text align of center. So previously the text alignment will be on left, I think so. So now we will just make it to the center. So now this looks really cool. So now we will style these things. So first now we will just select the we'll select this question details. I have given a class name for that as question dash details, display question details, and then we will just select that, and in here we will just give a flex of grow 1. Sorry, I have to give a flex grow as 1, so that, wait, let me just see. So if I just come on this thing, so if we provide a flex grow of 1 in here, this part of this section, this container occupies the rest of the space in the home main bar. Nevertheless, we maximize or minimize the browser. If you didn't give that, these three things will evenly occupy the container. So if we give that, it will just allocate the space for the first two things, and then this container will occupy the rest of the space. So that's why we have used display question details as flex grow 1. Now we will give a padding for that as for almost 0 px on top and bottom, as well as 20 px on left and right, and then now we just going to select the question dash title dash link, which is going to be our question title, and in here we will just remove the text decoration first. The text decoration is going to be none, and we will just give a color of blue, which is going to be hash 037 ECB, and that's it. And then we will give a transition for this as 0.3 seconds. So let me just refresh, so you may see the title is now good. And then now we will just select this title. On hovering this, we will just change the color to something a darker blue. So I will just leave it as a 009 DFF. So now if I just hover, it may become a lighter blue color. So that's an attention to detail. And then we will just select this display questions details, and inside that we will select the p tag, and we will give a padding for them as 4px, and we will just remove that margin to look nice. So in here we got many margin for each and everything. Let me just refresh. I have made that to 0, and we have also provided a padding of 4px so that it won't touch each others. So now we will just style those tags as well as the time. So let me just have a display dash tags dash time. So inside that we will give a display of flex, and then we will give a flex wrap for them as wrap. So what flex wrap does, and let me just explain. So display flex makes everything side by side, so it is not yet applied here. So display tags, let me just see, is that the correct valid? Shit, we don't want to do that, so let me just close this. Now we will go here, so we will see what tags time is given. So here what I have done, display tags in time. So here is also the display tags in time. Inside that we got the display tags as well as the time. So by having display flex we have put everything side by side. And what wrap does, if this if we got a longer tags as well, if we just give a flex for this thing it will go side by side. So what flex wrap does, if the length of that p tag extends this uh, limit, then it will just cut and go to the next line, as we discussed in the watch tags in the previous lecture. So now we will just select. So I think here I have missed something. Here it has to be display tags, so that it will come everything side by side. You may see now it is everything in the side by side, so which looks really nice. So if express.js occupies here, it will just cross the limit. That's why it is entered into the new line. That's what flex wrap does. And then we will select the p tag. We will select the p tag inside the display tags time, and inside that we will select the display tags, and in that we will select the p tag, and we will just give a margin of 2px and padding of 4px as well. And then we will just give a font size of 13px. We will just reduce to 13px, and a background color for them as hash e ashy d. Sorry, we'll just give this ashy deff0, as well as we will give a color for them as hash 39739d. So now let me just refresh. So we do have a nice tags in here. Now what we have to do, so now we will just style this time. Sorry, the time means the user who has asked that. So now we will select the time by copying this same thing and just changing it to time, as well as the selecting the everything inside that, and the font size we will just reduce to 13px. So here I missed one thing, that we do have to style the display tags time also. We have to give a flex for this also. So let me just give a display flex. So without giving this flex, so if we just give this flex only, then this thing will come next to this tags. After this tags, this the person who has asked will come here. So let me just expand. So it didn't come yet, so let me just save and refresh again. So now you can see it is just next to the tags now. So now what we can do, we will just make the flex wrap for this thing also to wrap. So since we are giving wrap, it won't just it will just overflow the container. It will be just enter into a next line, so our UI won't collapse for any display. So align items is going to be center, and the justify content is going to be space between, so that the name goes to the end. Since we, so before giving the justify content as space between, it was next to the tags, so now it is at the end. So now our UI looks good. So the next thing we are gonna do, is so the next thing we are just going to look at is the ask questions page, and then we will look in this what is of so inside this question page we will just look into that UI also. So and then we will just get into the backend part. After that we will just be doing this tags as well as users page at the last. So we will see in the next lecture. Thank you.